get to that place where all that bottled pressure explodes. And I believe that relieving that pressure is the best way to get you right back on your path. BetterHelp is the largest online therapy platform worldwide. All you have to do is visit their website or download their mobile app. All you gotta do is answer a few questions, and BetterHelp can match you with a licensed therapist that best meets your needs. And it's very easy. You can meet your therapist through online video chats, a phone call, or even live texting if you're a bit shy. And you can do this all within the comfort of your own home.
Here it is.
And I think the recording is off. There is this green thing around.
Okay. We're gonna. Okay, I need to share the screen, and I need to pick this one. This one. Okay, let's try it again. I'm going to. I guess it's recording, I'm not sure, but I'm going to record to the cloud. It said stop live stream, so it must be on. Okay, record to the cloud. Let's see if we can go with this.
Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict. for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look through our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the 308th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice, here on Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond, and I'll be host today, along with members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's workshop. And we have Mark as host today, and I'm a co-host because my power is out. So thank you, Mark, for taking over and maintaining control here of the workshop. And let's carry on and continue.
Okay,
Thank
Rick.
you.
Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, beautiful soul, for coming today. Thank you for all time, unify the soul, because we are the soul of the peace. Thank you for, it's time for the transition time for the be part of the passengers of the universe. And from be part of the soul of the universal community. Thank you so much. I start read from the last workshop, 519. We have to understand the fields of the emotion. We have to understand the fields and the strength of the fields which create this emotion. At the same time, once we understand this, we have to understand how other fields are created and what strength. In the body of the man today, we eat an apple. We create that weak strength field of the gains. of the energy that our bodies needed, and through the principle of the interaction of the fields in the plasma condition. The other 80% come into it. It gets attracted to and gets fit. In the coming time, we have to learn how to create and feel of the apple without eating the apple. How we create that in the dimension of the emotion and the physicality of the man, in the dimension of the soul of physicality, where the physicality is not needed anymore to consume that apple. This itself is an art. This itself becomes an art for man to learn, in a way. If you look at it, if you understand the principle of the interaction, you can use the soul to interact with the soul of the physicality. That the interaction creates the energy field of the apple. Then, in that process, you don't need to eat the apple. This is a secret of feeding both the soul and the soul of physicality. Up to now, you use the soul of physicality and physicality to have an emotion of waiting an apple and wanting an apple. Because when you decide to have an apple, your body has said what vitamins, what minerals, what energy of these are needed by the body for it to survive. So it converts it to an apple, it converts it to a beef, it converts to in another thing. It's converted to a thirst. Now, you have to learn how to create the same seed of the energy interaction of the soul of the man and the soul of physicality, without circulation of the blood, without consuming any other object and any other entity. This process is not far from many of you who have entered the section of the Keshe Foundation and the terms and cycles we were going through. You are gradually learning. We have to go through this mayhem of excitements and pursuits of feeling and not having the feeling and relying on trust, on a belief, on an understanding that I have created and I receive it what I want. In this process, you gradually learn to replace the interaction between the soul of physicality and the physicality for the emotion, for a hunger, for love, within these two and the other two, which is the soul of the man and the soul of physicality. In reality, you change the physical body of the man first, which is weaker with the stronger, which is the soul of the man. But in reality, it has the same common denominator within the soul of the man and within the soul of physicality of the man. Still, there is that essence, that common denominator, which connects them together because that's how they were created out of each other, in a way. You understand it when you put a drop or another gas, which you are using another patch to be connected to each other. It's the same process, but this time, instead of a drop of the gas, it's a drop of the line of the connection of the soul of the creator, which brings that connection. Now you can understand how simple man can walk away from killing, how man can walk away from destroying another physical life for its physical life to survive, to life, to exist, and to carry on with this existence, not only on this planet, but beyond. This is a cornerstone of man becoming man on the space. But first, you have to learn the emotion. First, you have to understand how this emotion is carried. And first, you have to understand what feeling this emotion gives you, that you use that feeling to be able to transmute, to be able to receive the energy you need. We started this process last Friday when all you joined in we call the love of Mitra on the 22nd of December. This is the first part of this phase. Need to love, need to give love, and understanding what feel you receive from the environment. That you being able and you being able to give out as love. The whole process of the teaching, the whole process, the structure of the 22nd of December trial test with 10,000 of you, and is going to repeat it next Friday. It is only this how to receive, and one measure to receive, and it one measure to give. You receive through your soul and give to your soul of physicality. That is that don't need to kill in the dimension of physicality. In a way, you are all hungry for love. In a way, you are hungry to give without receiving. But you have to understand the same process between the creator and created. And this is where the whole secret of existence, the whole secret of life in the universe is based on. Thank you.
So what we started on the 22nd is the first stage in for you to see what field you need. You needed the field of love, to feel love, to be able to give. And what emotion did it create for you in that process? That's the emotion of love for you. Next time in the future cycles, we teach you how to receive the apple, field of the apple, and then interaction with what you give to the soul of physicality. The physicality receives the apple. You taste it, you feel it, you get the energy of it from your physicality. This is how the training has to go. This is how we educate you step by step, without you knowing, but with what you desire. You all wanted to love and give the love of Mitra, and you went through the process. Now again, we put you through the same process. See if next Friday you feel the same process. Did you feel the same as last week, as this week, last time and this time? And then you'll be able to understand how to receive by the wish and how to give by the wish. But this time, as the process is between the soul of the man and the universe, and what you gave had no destination, you just wanted to give love. You give that love to what is part of you, which is your soul of physicality, which then it becomes the soul of the man, the feeder of the physicality of the man, which we've been trying to teach you past years. How to feed yourself, how to feed the soul of physicality, that the soul of physicality feeds the physicality of the man without killing. Now you receive the biggest gift of your new year. If you understood what has been said, we brought you in with the love of Mitra, and your soul desired to feel that love and to give that love. Now you understand that's the first step. If you manage to receive the love of Mitra and you manage to give that love out without you targeting it, you wanted to give. Now give it to the soul of physicality. Then you understand the process of the feed through universal cosmos rays, how the cosmic rays comes to become part of you, and how it has been part of you from the beginning of the time of your life. The whole process of the teaching is to teach you to make you. Does not matter if you are a man or the beast, how you receive energies of the universe, that you do not kill anymore, you do not destroy anymore. And once this is done, then you become the true man of the universe. You become part of the universal community in the true sense of it, the essence of existing in peace, that you are not a threat to me and I'm no threat to you. Then you can decide in which dimension you manifest yourself, as a man, as a beast, as a dog, as an alien, or as the soul of the creator. When you reach that state of understanding the totality of the creation. Now you understand how the teaching is set, how step by step we take you from one position to another, train you for past year and a half, and this year you learn to live without killing. You learn to create a condition and dimension of peace, and those of you who became satellites, You will understand your position and the importance of what you accepted. In a way, you signed for it, but on the other hand, your soul was created for it, to accept this responsibility, to accept this condition and position. Thank you.
In coming time, the number of the satellites will increase. What we call, in a way, today, as those who devote their life to serve the others. And then will become, through the same process, users of the fields of the universe and not the lives of the universe to exist. And when you reach that point, when you reach the point of maturity, you teach. You share the knowledge, you share the process, you share the emotion. It's very much that if a child is in the womb of the mother, from that point of conception, that point of creation of the first fields of the soul of the man, the mother within the womb of itself teaches the child how to receive energies from the universe, even without tapping to the fields of the energies of the man. Giving birth in the future will be very different than the present time, but man will understand. When you travel the span of the universe, how do you teach the fetus that there is no air, there's no water, there's no condition of killing for you taking from me? What you take from the universe. And how would we give birth to our children of the man in space when there's no delivery rooms? Now you understand how the process of the creation, how the process of understanding to gain the fields of the universe will affect the future of the man in space in the universe. That womb was in the dimension of physicality of the mother. What happened when you fall in love with the soul of another entity in the universe? And what we call the fruit of that love is creation of a new soul. As you all have the common denominator of the soul of the Creator, so the inception through the soul of the creation will be as common as today is amongst the physical man. Then you understand how to give love and how to receive love. And then you understand how you give that love to your child. These are not fairy tales. In the coming time, as the process of the creation of the daughter of Mitra has started, will be as common as today's birth on this planet. As we come into space, as we become the people of the universe, we find out that's the only way. You learned how to receive love. You learned how to give love. But we kept one secret from you on this 22nd. And that secret will be unraveled or shown on the 12th. And we would like to see what changes, what difference in emotion you feel in receiving the love and in giving the love. We kept the secret till we understand how you feel after the 12th. Then you understand the existence of the soul. Then you understand the process of the physicality. Then you understand the process of soul, of physicality. You have to understand this process. How important the soul of the man is within the embedded structure of the physical life of the man. That how you will learn to survive in space. We showed you what I call your straight lines, the flat lines of the soul of physicality and the physicality, and how this can be achieved, how you find harmony and balance, and in that process you decide what you need in what dimension. And do you need to create the dimension of physicality? In the coming time, we show you how to reverse from what we call transmutation to physicality. When you transmute, you are the energy. When you want to go back to physicality, how do you manifest yourself? How do you bring the soul of physicality out, that the interaction of the soul of physicality with its environment manifest the physicality of the man in the time, place, and position, where you do not need anymore the monkey suit. Now you understand how the 2024 will bring the establishment and the first stages of man to become part of the universal community. As I said to a friend of mine, just look at the digits and understand the culture of 8 in the Chinese culture. It's a lucky number, and you fulfill the whole of the past promises in 2024. You all are part of it, not one, not an individual. In that process of understanding, you come to understand the totality. And in that process, you become part of the totality. And then we'll see how many of you will become passengers of the universe, become those that even during the teaching can travel the span of universe and bring us the beauties of it. In the coming time, in the process of the teaching and what we do outside the teachings, in what I call practical workshops, the way we did in Linz, you went in the system and you came out and you told us where you've been. You come during the teachings and the process. Tell us, where have you been and what is the message and what you have seen? And how many of you would like to go and see the place? The extent of the teaching is one at a time, then as a group of you. As I said, we split you in different groups. We split you in different sections. And then the work, you travel together. You learn how to, and those of you who are there become the future teachers for the other souls. You teach how to work with the soul, then the dimension of physicality. And the teaching you do will not be with this and that, but with the transfer of the energy fields of the emotion of the soul of you with their soul. Thank you.
In the universe, there are no languages, no universities, and no mechanical systems to do things. You have to learn to live, to exist, to interact through the fields of the universe and your soul. This is how we came to teach. This is how we came to bring the change. This is how the change will come amongst all of you from all the nations. When you look at the panels of those who participate, you are from 30, 40 different nationalities and races, and all learn at the same time. But go back and see how you were created out of other races during the time of the life on this planet. Then you understand you are all connected while you are on the system. Doesn't matter if you are English, Chinese, German, black, white, speak different languages. When it comes to the panel of the sharing, you are all equal because you are there through your soul and not your dimension of physicality. Then you learn to teach the same. Then you learn to share the same. Then, as you learn the correct way, you learn and you've done the correct things, you become the good teachers of the future for those who start teaching. And then you understand the process of the teaching. Then you understand the process of creation as you teach yourself to the others. Doesn't matter if you lump, if you have no leg, if you have no eyes, if you have three God knows, whatever organs in your body. It's irrelevant. because the beauty of you is the beauty of your soul. Physicality doesn't count. And then even the what you call manifestation of your physicality in another dimension, you are a perfect person. But in another dimension, you might be missing a leg because your soul needs to receive a certain field. That missing leg, in interaction with the others, creates a condition of receiving what you are short in your soul, and then you are remanifest yourself when you receive it with a full, not missing leg. Now you understand how things are done. This is now you understand how people create with different, what I call imperfections in the eye of the man, but perfection in the eye of the soul of the creation. Why some of us become so beautiful to attract all the attentions? Because the soul needs that. And why some of us behave different? Because that's what our soul is short of. And with the behavior we attract. Then if you understood this, you should have understood how even to attract the fields that you need to feed yourself, that you don't and doesn't create that condition of the emotion of the physicality, that you steal from the others by behavior. The process of the transmutation is not simple. The process of transmutation needs the total understanding and devotion to creation. And not just the man to achieve, to be able to do, and then to brag out about it that I can do. As we said, the bigger the tree, the humble is becomes and bends towards the earth. The more you learn, the humble you have to become. And then that process to cover more, to be on the shelter of your knowledge and your understanding. In a way, you are preparing your soul for the final journey, to become part of the universal community. And it won't happen to all of you to log out, but step by step, as you mature, to take out that route. The same as when the soul mature, leaves the physicality behind. But this time you have a choice. How you manifest again, where you manifest again, and how you manifest again. It will be interesting for many of you when you start transmuting on earth from one position to another. If the interaction of the soul is wrong, the transmutation will not take place. Your intention, your emotion, the understanding of the soul as it's nothing, it's hiding from it, it's to go from London to New York, to create maybe from your family and pain, will find out you will not be able to do. If your intention is there to create more love and connection and bring more prosperity to the soul of the others, you'll find out that you will transmute. This goes back to the early teachings where I told you. The time will come that even the kings and the rulers will walk away from the system, as their soul will not accept. Now you understand the message of the past. Now you understand why your soul will not allow to create another mayhem in another dimension. And this is how the man will transmute. When you arrive, you are a man of peace. When you arrive, there are no wrong intentions because the soul will not allow that to take place. Take a magnet and put in a position, and you see how much more fields you need to exert. If you are pushing the magnet to take a new position, that doesn't allow, it's not allowed. It's the same with the soul of a man. Now you understand how the ethos of meter comes in operation. You have to think good that the soul allows the transmutation. Then you arrive, you talk good, that the soul doesn't get rejected. And you act good, that your physical dimension cannot bring what I call loss to another soul. The ethos of matter is ethos of interaction of the fields of the plasma, the creator of the fields of the creation. And now you understand more why we emphasize and bring the mysticism and the principle of the fields of the creation through the name of Mitra. From the man to be perfect on the point, the time, and the place of manifestation or transmutation. We have built the systems, and the systems are getting to the point that we will be able to transmute thousands of you at the same time. In a way, you create a condition for your soul by the decision of you to transmute. It will be interesting in 2024 and 2025 how you will be able to grasp, understand the whole process, and what to do, and to what extent. In the first 6 months of the year, as we said, on the third Friday of each month, we start the process. We take you through this process, with us controlling in the background, and you, as the driver, trying to extend your energy between your soul and the soul of physicality. In a way, for you to learn the process of transmutation, the process of understanding the movement of the fields within you, not another object. And then, in that process, for you to learn how to recall the fields. Thank you.
In a way, you think of an apple. You create the field of that thinking, that emotion, the taste, the smell, and with that, you create that field interaction in the dimension of soul of physicality and in conjunction with the soul of the man. You absorb the field from the universe. Then the question comes, what happened? I come across a new fruit, a new entity, which I would like to know how it tastes, the love of. Then if you go back to the process of giving and see if you receive back from what you gave, then you understand that's the emotion of the fields of the entity that you need and is given to you by the entity. You do not need to kill it to absorb its energy. Now the process of the transmutation and life in this universe will gradually become transparent to all of you. In time, these recordings will be taught to billions of you as you graduate, as you understand more, and becomes a cornerstone of the teaching of the transmutation. Maybe one day the soul of the knowledge will be transferred without the voice of the knowledge. But in time, that will be completed when you all understand and accomplish the process of the transmutation of the fields between the soul of the man and the soul of physicality of the man. That in essence you transfer and manifest the energies of the soul within the soul of physicality of the man. And then the beauty of the Creator shall manifest. It's the time when you achieve that. Is the process and the what we call the promised day, when the fields of the Creator will be shared amongst the two and understood by two, and then in that process, in creating a new dimension of the fields, will be the fields of the Creator. That point of maturity might be achieved by some at the point of birth. It might not be achieved by some even the whole life of the cycle in the universe. When you can transfer a full energy of the soul of the man into the soul of physicality of the man, and it becomes one. Then you reach the dimension of the Creator as one and not two. And then you will understand the beauty of the creation as like in a star. From it will manifest new lives, new dimensions, and new universes. And as I said before, some of you in an instance will reach that point. And some of you will endeavor for a lifetime, and it will be a dream which will never come to be true and the reality. As you never understood fully, you never accepted fully, you never practiced in full dimension the ethos of Mitra. In a way, this is how Mitra attracted the Creator to Earth, to bring that level to become part of itself, to become the essence of the manifestation of the man. In the coming time, by developing the physical systems, we will bring you more and more to be processed. Thank you.
To be able to transmute through the dimension of the soul and understand the interaction of the soul of the man and soul of physicality. For the time being, it's for you to understand the process of the creation of the fields, interaction of the fields, absorption of the fields, without killing, without destroying another life, but in a way to receive love, to give love, and to see what you give will bring you back as love. That becomes the cosmic ray that you interact with and break through and manifest yourself in both dimensions of physicality and transmutation. I hope the first teaching of 2024 opens you to the light of transmutation, the light of understanding your soul, and the beginning of a new cycle for man, as was promised in all the holy books. We shall fulfill the full understanding, and not by magic and deception. You can deceive yourselves, but teaching shall stay and prove its correctness to all of you when you reach that point. As we prepare, we go through the transmutation as you understood, I hope, in the first part today. That the 22nd is the beginning of the receiving and giving fields and how we do it. And in the process of the next 6 months, what you receive and what you give as love will be energy that you give to the soul of physicality of yourself. That, in a way, is a target practice, and your soul of physicality is at reach. You understand it, you know it. And then you'll see how you start elevating. And then we teach you how to travel the span of the universe with the same process, with the same technique. And gradually we make a man of space out of you, the dimension of the fields, and not by rocket and propulsion. But even though we are preparing systems for that, that you gradually be able to do both if you wish. When you're in love, you eat less. Is this similar to what you just taught? The human soul feeds the soul of physicality? Mr. Keshe, most probably, yes. Most probably. You receive more fields because you create that need and then you give. If you're sitting next to your lover or your husband or your wife or whatever, they will tell you, you were not here. What happened to you? Where did you go? Because the transmutation will come in a physical dimension. You'll do it. We don't do it for you. And you're in the coming time, if you are, it's just like you say to your husband, I'm going to the supermarket to shop. And you go, he hears the door and he goes, and you go with a car, goes off to go to the supermarket. You tell your partner, I'm going to God knows where. I'm going to New York to see my mom or whatever. And physically, you will not exist there. Tell you the first time will be freaky, but gradually you learned, we learned that we go out of the house and we come back. We are the one. We learn that we leave and we come back. Because now we have that in our position. It's another, what I call, string in the bow of the knowledge of the man to live in the universe. As the numbers build up, the mysticism and magic will go out of it. It becomes normal. These are part of, we have to go step by step that you learn. It's like the vertical unit you've just seen as advertised. This is part of the process. This is part of the transmutation system that you transmute and you come back. You don't leave. Rick says he's looking for a good visualization to power up the soul in a deep level to work with these fields. Mr. Keshe says, as I always say, you have to go lower than high. And it's not a 3D movie. You can buy a 3D glasses for it. It is emotion and feeling. And if you understood the teachings, you don't actually power up, you power down. You don't need to power anything up. Question, do we eliminate the need for food and drinking if we transmute? That's your decision. That's entirely your decision. That's how you have to decide. On Earth, that's your decision. When you become a passenger of the universe, you cannot do. You work through the energies. Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful soul, for beautiful read. Please, next. Thank you. Next to the wishes. Thank you. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul, flooding the creation with unconditional love to cover all needs for in all in need. Thank you. Or wishes or comment. Thank you. Jaco, you can?
Yes.
You can read? Thank you.
Yes. We, the Universal Council, wish for all knowledge seekers to use the understanding of totality, to spread the knowledge of plasma technology to all souls on planet Earth. Our wish is our command.
Estefania, you can read?
Yes, I can. Yes, just a second. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so, oops. We, the Universal Council, wish for the Keshe Foundation to receive what is needed to finalize the work of making humanity a man of space. We're present.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I can. So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Can you hear me properly, Lisbeth?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. I'm Stefania, and I'm a representative of the Italian language for the Universal Council for the Italian language. So today we're gonna do again for a second time. We're gonna do the soul connection in Italian because, as you know, for who is new here, if you are your first time here, we do the soul connection in different languages. Because as we know, we connected through our soul, connected through our languages. So you're more connected with your language. So we thought to the intro for the soul connection. So today we're gonna do Italian. So in a minute I will speak in Italian. But for who is new about the soul connection, we're gonna take a few minutes of silence where everyone here present and everyone knowledge seeker all over the world, everyone, because knowledge seeker means people who are seeking for knowledge, so it's everyone, I suppose. We can connect at the soul level. So if you find a quiet place and you make, even if it's not quiet actually, because the skill is to be able to connect at any time, at any moment. So even if you're in a very noisy and crowded place, it will mean that you will practice deeper how to connect, because it is easier to connect, in a nice environment. But can we practice? Can we connect also when the environment is not perfect? So that is the skill. So enjoy. So I'm gonna start now. Ok, buonasera, buon pomeriggio, buongiorno a tutti, per tutte le persone che ci stanno sentendo, che sono italiane, che parlano l'italiano. Non necessariamente dovete essere in Italia, potete essere in qualsiasi parte del mondo. E quindi se sei italiano, se parli italiano o se capisci italiano, benvenuto. Adesso inizieremo la connessione dell'anima, quindi la cosa più importante è quella di replicare l'amore incondizionato. Se riuscite a immaginare la prima volta in cui voi eravate o siete stati o siete innamorati, se riuscite a replicare queste sensazioni, queste emozioni di questo amore che è molto forte, incondizionato, questo è quello che vi aiuterà nella connessione dell'anima, perché come sappiamo l'anima, l'amore e il sentimento per l'amore o l'emozione dell'amore è il campo più forte che c'è nell'universo. Quindi adesso prendiamo qualche minuto per praticare questa connessione. Io vi invito a veramente a replicare questo amore incondizionato. Quindi voi vedete se riuscite a applicare queste sensazioni e non avete una cosa specifica a cui indirizzare questo amore. Lo avete replicato ed è disponibile per tutti, per questo che è incondizionato. Per favore, io vi consiglio, se riuscite a non pensare. Quando pensi sei già fuori dallo scopo di questa connessione. Noi adesso stiamo praticando la connessione dell'anima e quindi quando si pratica la connessione dell'anima non si pensa, ma si va sul sentire. Ed è per questo che vi invito a replicare l'innamoramento, di quando vi siete innamorati o se siete innamorati. Ok, adesso iniziamo. Abbiamo qualche minuto e iniziamo adesso. Ok, we start now for the connection. Ok, via.
How long are you going to make this connection?
Should we do 3 minutes?
Fine.
It's
Are you
okay.
gonna will you keep track of the time or would you like me to?
I can do it.
Fine.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you,
We
Mark.
start now?
Start now. Thank you. Ok, adesso piano piano possiamo aprire gli occhi, o se li avete avuti chiusi, oppure possiamo ritornare. Abbiamo finito questa connessione. Spero che avete avuto una buona sensazione. L'importante è praticare, proprio quella connessione è molto importante. Io vi consiglio di praticarla almeno una volta al giorno. È molto importante avere questa capacità di replicare le sensazioni dell'amore infinito. Infatti, come vedrete poi, ci aiuterà per la trasmutazione, quindi è molto, molto importante. Per alcune persone è naturale, per altre devono praticare, e quindi io sono anch'io una di queste che deve praticare. Quindi vi ringrazio per oggi, e buon proseguimento. Okay, thank you so much. I just finished, so we can give I think that we can turn to the next slide, Mark. I think there is Andreas that he would love. Yeah, I think Andreas would like to talk after the soul teaching, so the soul connection, he said. So I don't know if you can go forward with this slide. Slide. Thank you. Yeah, this one. Yeah. And then we go back. Sorry if you didn't put the order properly.
No problem.
No problem. Oh, thank you so much.
Andreas, would you like me to play the video first?
Yes,
Thank you.
please. Thank you. At first, please, Alex video and then the system video.
Keep Keshe Foundation free for humanity. Become a trial volunteer. And Mr. Keshe is making every effort to keep Keshe Foundation free and independent, and out of control of the multinational corporations. Therefore, we need more knowledge seekers with certain health conditions to come forward and be part of the trials and test. It's different than volunteering for big corporations with huge budgets. For one thing, they pay you to put experimental drugs inside your body because you are taking a risk. With plasma science, it is totally opposite. You are working with plasma fields that cannot damage you, and usually your condition changes or goes away. But you have to pay for it because it's an act of love to help bring the change to humanity. Please, if you can consider volunteering for these trials, not only do you benefit, but you bring benefit to others.
This is the tooth of a child, and you can see it literally to the flesh. And this is very few weeks later. Where the tooth is literally recovering and growing. And when you see the changes are so fundamental. And this is what our doctors and dentists are achieving. This is a life of misery, pain, tooth extraction. And this is today, a few weeks later. And you walk away for all the problems. How far this will go? Will it become a complete tooth in the next 6 months, 12 months? And would we see the changes? Because if you're a dentist, and if you're an ordinary man, you can understand the difference between the two. No chemicals, no medicine, nothing was used. The target of our dentists and doctors is to grow tooth where it has gone. It's been pulled out if it's possible. It's been the dream of the dentists. And using the new technology by them, I'm sure they will try. As you can see, the difference between the two is very clear. We see new bones, new structures, new covers appear. It's the same for us with the what we call the world of salinity. Can we create the condition? Would you like to change the screen, please? Right. Can we come to the point that with application of the remote, we can deliver directly, for example, to build a piece of wall of a heart of a baby the way we did with a tooth from thousands of kilometers away without open heart surgery? Can we rebuild part of a kidney which has been damaged in your dialysis machine? Can our doctors with a new technology remove kidney stone without any intervention? Do they need to change the salinity within a kidney for the stone to melt within a few sessions? And now you understand why we tell you, volunteer. Do you want me to go to multinationals and tie your hand with research? Or do you want to do it yourself and help the others and our doctors to understand? We are not in medical practices. We are in elevation of the soul, how the soul decides to change the what we call dimension within dimension of physicality. And secondly, all these trials is done by the doctors. We are providers of the knowledge. So, if you want to see if it works, if it can bring a new understanding for us, volunteer. And opposite to the other researchers or doctors and institutions where they go out and look for billions to pay scientists to find out, Keshe Foundation asks you to pay for, as volunteer, for us to learn, for scientists to bring the new dimension. This is what you see is what is to come. It's the first time you see the Space Center Wellness Center. These systems can reach man in the deepest part of the universe. As you can see, the transmutation and transportation of the soul and the physicality is within the system. And
You will see each system on its own. It can reach all conditions of unwellness of the body of the man operated by doctors. It is part of the space program. And for the first time, we show what is to come. And these machines have been operating for past 12 months. We know how they work. And some of you hoping to learn sat in some of these systems. Now they're being positioned as one of the first wellness centers in the world. Now you see the future of wellness, feeding, and making peaceful man out of the man. In this center, in coming months, hundreds of these units will be installed. And more or less anyone in the world can reach. As you can see, there is room enough to add huge number, and the doctors will monitor everything remote. This is more or less the hospitals of tomorrow with no patients.
Hello, here is Andreas, Universal Council support member of the German-speaking community. And my topic today is donations for the Keshe Foundation. If we look at the videos that have just been showed, Mark, could you please show the Keshe Foundation donation site, please, where you see the bank connection?
I'm going to have to take a minute to find that, Andreas, but I will.
Thank you. If you look at the videos that have just been shown, in the first video we have seen a very small part of what has become possible in the field of wellness with the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation and plasma technology. In the second video, we saw the systems with which the plasma doctors work and which make it possible to reach everyone and everything regardless of time and place, throughout the universe and far beyond the speed of light, in zero time, with instant communication. The wellness field is a very important field, and as we have seen in the last decade, many impossible things have become possible that cannot be understood and made possible with current applied sciences, even mass processing, but that's not all. The knowledge of plasma and the technology can be applied to every area of life: nutrition, agriculture, energy, decontamination, family and relationship, matter production, and much more. But also transportation and space travel, physical or non-physical, as transmutation from matter to energy and back, with UFOs or with the human soul and physicality. Many of us took part in the various sessions in Linz, or in the headphone sessions and test runs, or in the wellness area but also in the knowledge seekers workshops and witnessed the development of this wonderful knowledge and technology. It is the knowledge and technology of creation, the soul. We experience miracles every day, again and again. Mr. Keshe teaches this knowledge relentlessly and for free in over thousands of hours of teaching sessions, every week, again and again. And whether it's nano, GANs, or soul technology, very, very many of us have been able to apply it in many different ways and experience miracles. Miracles that are not possible in the conventional sciences and have, if only, positive side effects. And in the meantime, we do it more and more with our own soul. This knowledge is the greatest gift mankind and the planet has ever received. As we saw in the first video, you can contact the plasma doctors with different health conditions, no matter to what extent. The email address is health@spaceshipinstitute.org. But plasma processing is not free. Don't expect to write there and get it for free. It has to be paid for, just like the Keshe Foundation has to pay for the development, the buildings, the equipment, the scientists, the doctors, the staff, and everything else. So does the security, because nothing and nobody should come to harm. And we also know how everything is being tried to stop the Keshe Foundation from different sides who don't want to see this development for humanity. As Mr. Keshe has already talked about several times, the cooperation with China and other nations is contractually signed. He also told us, and this is part of what we have already experienced together several times by hundreds, that in the future millions can be processed at the same time, for example in the wellness area, or being fed via the headset, and all at low prices. However, these structures still need to be set up on many sites, which is a huge amount of effort, and also in many respects, money will then no longer be a problem. But until then, in this transition phase, the Keshe Foundation and we, the humanity, as one nation, one planet, one race for world peace and justice, are still dependent on financial support. That is why I would like to draw your attention to the fact that you have the opportunity to make donations at this bank account, which you can also find on the Keshe Foundation website, keshe.foundation, and that you can help to make the entire transition phase financially easier. Just remember, only the online presence with all things around it, where this workshop is also part of it, costs the Keshe Foundation 25,000 euros per month. So if you can, how much you can, please help to go through this transition. At some point, sooner than we think, the first ones of us will go through the transmutation and will no longer be dependent on money, and at some point the whole of humanity and every inhabitant of this planet will do the same, and we will all be independent, free, and live together in peace and joy and explore the universe together. I'm really looking forward to it, and thank you that we are all walking this path together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes?
We really are in this transition time, and everyone, it does not depend if it's a few euros. Please help supporting the Keshe Foundation, that all the challenges can be overcome lovely and easy, so that we all can concentrate of that what is important. And if it's only a few euros or a billion, donate how much it is worth for you. And it is very much worth what the Keshe Foundation is doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the intervention, Andreas. One drop added. Thank you so much. Next is to knowledge about with the Jaco. Maybe it's before. Mark?
Yes. Mark, if you can go back 2 slides. Yes, thank you very much. So hello, everyone, all souls in, on and beyond our beautiful spaceship Earth. It's me again, Jacko, UC member and representative of the Dutch language. I welcome you all. It's my thoughts and what I learned from Mr. Keshe's teachings, combined with the knowledge of the last Knowledge Seekers workshops. A knowledge seeker asked me why all knowledge is important. And I answered him, how can we separate right from wrong if we don't know both? Every little thing we learn is a part of totality. And the more we learn, the more we understand in time. We understand how important it is that we see it from the eternal point of view. We know that time is not a soul thing. And this opens up the possibility to experience every single aspect of life in the universe. If time is irrelevant, you can be a stone for thousands of years, just to understand that point of view. Now, if time is irrelevant, then what is left? It's the gathering of knowledge and the making of experiences that makes our stay on planet Earth so special. It matures our soul. On Earth, we find emotions, limitations, and the free will. Conditions that are that special that a lot of souls long to be on Earth and go through these experiences. In physicality, we often think about our worries and sorrows. And in the background, our souls do their soul positioning, mostly a long time before. The biggest change will come as soon as we make our soul our captain. Then we will notice that everything that happens is no coincidence anymore. In the universe, there is life everywhere in every little corner. The diversity, like on Earth, is not everywhere. Other planets don't have this as we do. This was the magnet to Mitra, to learn, to understand, and to become love. It's the interaction between our soul of the man, our soul of physicality, and the physicality. And then it's us between all the other souls around us. And if they become in line, we will find heaven on earth. And that means peace for all. See Earth as a playground where souls can do all their experiences with each other, sometimes against each other, but also in different roles, so we can really understand what our behavior does to another soul in existence. And all these little parts become the path to totality, the path to be a creator in creation. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, for opening up our eyes and our soul eyes to realize the beauty of totality inside of us and in the image of the Creator. We as humans often don't have the patience to wait till change manifests. We have to understand that where we went wrong as humanity thousands of years ago, it has to be perfect this time. So before we start to create our soul children, we first have to understand that it's our behavior that has to be correct. After all these experiences in different directions and interactions here on Earth, our soul matures, comes closer, back to totality again. Then we understand we are that creator in creation. And when Mr. Keshe is speaking about interaction of, multiplication of, division of, it's like a guidance for our soul. We interact as a plasma with our environment, the fields and the rays. If we multiply them with our soul plasma energy, we go forward, we add to it, expand. By division, we split and still go forward on the smaller side. Don't forget, smaller is not weaker. Smaller means more that can interact again of its own and become creator of a new cycle. All this is the reason why we have so much diversity on our beautiful spaceship Earth. Elevate the soul of Mother Earth as well as your own soul and make this elevation available for all souls around you, in, on, and beyond Earth. Then give it time and observe what happens. And whatever comes, we are connected. We are one in the unconditional love of our Creator. We love you. Thank you very much. The next slide, please.
Is this the one you were looking for, Jacko?
I'm not sure, but I think this is the questions and answers. You have the timestamp, Mark?
Yes, I think so. Let's just make sure. I think this is the one here at 59:42. Claudia, can you confirm that, please? This is what I've received.
I think Lisa sent to you, Mark. I don't know exactly.
Okay. Okay. Shall we continue with this?
Yes, please.
Little long.
Beautiful.
So now we can look at the answers from the Universal Council.
Yes. Então, essa foi a introdução, a pequena introdução, por isso que nós demos risada, mas agora nós vamos para as perguntas e respostas dos membros do Conselho Universal.
And the first question, can we eradicate racism and white supremacy by using the knowledge of plasma?
Então, a primeira pergunta é: podemos erradicar o racismo e a supremacia branca usando o conhecimento do plasma?
And the first answer, can you continue to deny yourself as soon as we understand that we are all mirror image of the same creator? We understand that there is no higher nor lower on soul level.
Então, você vai continuar se negando? Assim que entendemos que somos todos imagens espelhadas do mesmo Criador, entenderemos que não há superior e nem inferior no nível da alma.
And there is another answer. In the Creator's creation, all souls are equal. All souls are created from the fields of the Creator. So in a way, we are all the same. And we now know we have a soul. With this knowledge, the concept of white supremacy and racism cannot exist. What you see in our world today is therefore misconceptions of how the universe are and misconduct of individuals who act out these misconceptions. We will eradicate this by teaching the knowledge of creation from Keshe Foundation and for all to follow the ethos of the universe. Think good, speak good, and act good.
Então, outra resposta é: na criação do Criador, todas as almas são iguais. Todas as almas são criadas a partir dos campos do Criador. Portanto, de certa forma, todos somos iguais. E agora sabemos que temos uma alma. Com esse conhecimento, os conceitos de supremacia branca e racismo não podem mais existir. O que você vê em nosso mundo hoje são, portanto, concepções erradas de como o universo e a má conduta de indivíduos que agem de acordo com essas concepções erradas. Vamos erradicar isso, ensinando o conhecimento da criação da Fundação Keshe, para que todos sigam o ethos do universo, que é o pensar o bem, o falar o bem e fazer o bem.
And there is another answer. Eradication is violence as much as white supremacism is. We can bring things back to balance by understanding and moving towards unity of the soul instead of the duality of the physicality.
Então, outra resposta é: erradicação a erradicação é violência, tanto quanto... Erradicar a violência tanto quanto o supremacismo branco. Podemos trazer o equilíbrio de volta, compreendendo e nos movendo em direção à unidade da alma, em vez da dualidade da fisicalidade.
And then we are on the second question. In the opinion...
Are we going to save the second question for next week?
Yes, Mark, please.
Okay, very well.
Thank you. It's time for Stefania, yes? Stefania, it's time for you to talk about the
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the
transition
poster.
time, the
Yeah,
transmutation
perfect.
test.
Can you hear me? Yeah, because
Yes, thank you.
okay,
Thank you.
perfect. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you. Great presentation from you and Mary and the Brazilian team. Really good. And I know you had actually a very good feedback. Mary shared it in the UC. She had really great feedback about your last meeting of the Universal Council. So it was really good. It was very, very good. Thank you so much. This is the transmutation. So as you know, last week we had a very super important teaching. They're all important, but this one definitely is I mean, it was for me was very. I mean. Every teaching is important. This is one of the problems because it's very hard to keep up. Every week there is a new teaching. But last week I really recommend you, if you didn't have the opportunity to listen, please don't miss and go back and listen, because it's connected to this poster that you see now. So the poster we see now, it has been announced in the next couple of past weeks. So we're gonna start with the new 2024. As you heard from the Universal Council supported that they were reading the script from the 519 public workshop. There, if you, for who was able to follow properly, you heard that the 2024 is the lucky year, is for in the Chinese culture, and this is the year where we're gonna start training properly people for the transmutation. So far, as you know, we have the Thursday, every Thursday, where Mr. Keshe teach for free, and he done for the last 10 years. He give his own time to be there 3 hours a week, 4 hours a week, and constant giving for free knowledge. You know, already that is a big bonus, because any things you want to learn now you have to pay for training and stuff. So have it free, and they are recorded in YouTube's is priceless itself. But now we're gonna go with the practical. So the Thursday now is the theory, where Mr. Keshe teaching the theory, and this poster you see is for the practical. Again, we go back to the donation video. So the Keshe Foundation have to charge, because to be able to give you the service of the cosmic ray for you to receive it at home without moving a finger, and you just need an internet connection and a Zoom, you know, to log in, ID. Then you don't need anything else apart the headphone and the phone that everyone has already. You know, all this stuff you have already, because in society today, I mean, if you don't have, you're very lucky. But in society today, we're going all for this digital. So it's very rare now to find someone with no phone or no, or internet connection. So anyway, so the transmutation is gonna start this year, and it's gonna start. They're gonna be every Friday. Every third. Every third of Friday, like a third of the Friday of the calendar of the month. So not the first Friday, not the second Friday, the third one. And it's gonna be 6 months, if I understood properly. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you can pay individually, as you can see, 300, and you can pay in a bundle. 1,600. Remember, you go VAT, so this amount is not the end. So you will have some money added to it for the VAT. So keep in mind that, because it's not the final price. But again, by donating or paying, the way you want to put it, in this way you're supporting the foundation, because it's very, very important to keep going and keep forward, keep researching. So I suggest to, as I said, to listen the last workshop, because the last workshop was really the beginning of the new teaching for the transmutation. So you know, he will, if you you heard it all these 2 hours as well, how it's important to understand the emotion, how the emotion works, and the feel of the emotion, how it's been created. You know, we got many emotion, you know, happy, joy, anger, but we have to focus on what make you feel happy, because what make me happy doesn't mean make you happy. Maybe what make me happy make you sad. So they're not for everyone the same. So we really need to understand which are conditions that make you happy. So which are conditions that make you joy, no? So there are certain things in your life that have some meaning to it, and they will bring joy, they bring happiness, you know, which condition you feel love, you know. So we have to start to practice all this, and even sad, you know, and then we will be able to use the fields to then we'll be able to recreate we will learn how to create these fields, and then eventually we'll be able to be very good at it in such a way that we'll be able to transmute. So it's very important that so for example, in this practice that we're going to do now in the next meeting, if you heard in the workshop of the 590 or what has been read now, so we have to learn how to replicate the conditional feelings of love, and then once we be able to replicate these feelings, and we become good at it, then we'll be able to learn how to feed our own soul of physicality, and then our soul of physicality will feed our with physicality, and then when we're gonna get good, we will not be able then to look for food. So we'll transform, you know, when you have the feelings of get angry, you will be able to recreate the feelings of the apple, as he was talking before, and by creating the feeling of the apple. Why apple? Because apparently your physicality needed that minerals that are inside the apple, and you by recreating them, so your soul of physicality working with the soul of the man can recreate the feeling, the smell, the taste of the apple, like if you really having your hands and eating it. And obviously, even the apple, somehow when you eat the apple, is the apple also choose you to be eaten by you. But in the future, we will learn not to eat the apple, so you can still interact also with the fields of the apple, but without physically eating the apple. And this is really good, because it will open to us many doors. We will be able to explore more frontier and going into places that now to us are impossible to go, like space. Now we need a monkey suit to go to space. We need a spacecraft and this stuff. But if we go into the transmutation, you will not need all that. You will not even need the UFO and the spacecraft of the UFO, or Elon Musk with his rock going to Mars. You will not need that. Literally, what Mr. Keshe bringing on the table is how to use your body as a vehicle. So that is the goal. The goal is to be able to use your body as a vehicle. So we will not need a car. You will not need a train, planes. Can you imagine how much saving and pollution? If you worry about carbon emission, this is very, very pro. To avoid the carbon emission. This is one way, no fuel. And also, once you learn how to transmute, in the process of the transmutation, you will be able to heal yourself to, go back to balance. And that is also handy. So it's very, very good. So you will be independent. No need to go to the doctor as much. Even that one will be a big saving. So the benefits are endless in any direction. We can talk for hours about this. So I really highly recommend it for many reasons, because you, by paying the donation for the transmutation, you supporting people who are focusing on the future of a new world, a new era. So this is very important. We have to always think ahead where we're going. So you by pay for the transmutation, we support all this work where everyone will benefit at the end. So it's very good. And plus, you will have a chance to get to know yourself deeply, going very, very deep in a knowledge that has always been here. Is always this knowledge that Mr. Keshe teach. He said, is not the only one. Is the knowledge that it is there available in the universe. Is how the universe works, and we just have to learn how to tap into. So you will learn how your body works. So it's like if you're like a washing machine without instruction. By going deeper with Mr. Keshe knowledge that he shared, but there are many other knowledge around. You can also go and look, but they have a common denominator, that it's space knowledge of the universe. So the Earth is in the universe, so we are part of the universe. So it's a fundamental knowledge that has to be learned, because it has to do with you and where are you in space. So it's fundamental. One day would be taught in school. So really invite you to go. And then the people who will learn will become knowledgeable enough and will have a full understanding, and they will practice enough. They will be the new teacher, and they will teach to others. And then as a ripple effect, we all gonna learn this. It's natural way to go. So I welcome you everyone to, if you can, and if you don't know how to spend your money, this is a perfect way to do it, or a gift to other people. We had in the past millionaires who they donate treatment, session for others that couldn't afford it. This is where the donation come into. So people who's got millions or lots of cash, you see in internet a lot of people 10,000 a month, you can make 10,000 in 1 minute, so there are a lot of people who are becoming multimillionaire as we speak. Those people can donate for others to learn, people who don't have possibility, so we can all move in all together fast, because this is a collective work. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. If you got any questions, I think I covered everything. Or there is anything I didn't cover? If anyone want to say anything?
Very nice, Stefania. I think you did cover everything. And of course, it's for the individual to have that experience. And I thought one of the most profound things Mr. Keshe said is we educate you in these sessions without you even knowing. But eventually you will know. Little parts and pieces and bits and bobs are being added in the background or interacting with you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Stefania. Thank you all the people. All the time is transmutation time. Of course, it's test times for donate for that test. It's very important. Like today is test to the patent, and thank you for that. For that. And okay, next is. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I think they all need and wishes from your community, for the universal community. Of course, not only for the universal council. Of course, it's for the all souls helping with the elevate the souls. People need go.
Okay, if anyone would like to bring a need or a wish from your community to the Universal Council, please feel free to open your mic or raise your hand if you don't have a mic.
I think yesterday put at the chat, we wish for those Keshe Foundation scientists who have understanding the totality about the knowledge, understanding or what Mr. Keshe taught over the past 20 years to bring that Keshe Foundation knowledge to all international universities. Thank you. Or wish is your comment. Thank you.
Yes, there was something that was brought up by one of the knowledge seekers. I wish for those Keshe Foundation scientists who have a full understanding of what Mr. Keshe has taught over the past 20 years to bring that KF knowledge to all international universities. Our wish is our command. Anyone else before we go to the next slide?
Actually, and with the universal concept to elevate the soul, the all leaders, government leaders, and all support leaders to the different conflict zones for solve and achieve the peace. And also elevating the message delivered for all leaders.
Yes, I'm sure they're feeling something through their soul, but they may be ignoring it at the moment, but eventually the souls will decide. They have decided, and it's for them to pick it up or to walk away from it. Completely their choice.
It's a sign for the more government leaders attend use soul consciently, because the soul is in control, but the people decide the soul of physicality is in control and emotion is in control. But it's time for elevate that soul for alignment and consciously take a control over the men, because the government decision is influenced directly over the population. Thank you.
Elizabeth, anyone else want to join this discussion? Okay, I think we will go to the final slide.
We are here to serve, not to be served. Thank you so much. And thank you, because not only Universal Council serve all the time, because all souls all the time unify with the Universal Council souls and serve it, because give the love, give it knowledge, the Creator time donate you knowledge, you donate you understanding knowledge to the other. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for coming today. Thank you for your patience today. Thank you, Marik, because it's different like other days, but it's beautiful, beautiful service for the whole souls and sisters, not only for the humanity. Thank you, thank you.
Yes, I remember Mr. Keshe saying, find something to serve, not something that serves you. And again, it's a total reversal of our understanding of the way we approach things. So that's
Yes.
something to keep in your mind. Find something to serve, not something that serves you. And this will bring an elevation to you and to all of us and to the entire creation. Thank you.
The humble is the way. Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, if there are no other comments, we will again play the short clip on the wellness system, and then we will bring the meeting to a close. Anyone else been holding back or want to say a word or two? Please feel free.
I just want to say thank you, Mark, for your call to duty today, and
impromptu hosting.
You took over the hosting very well, and I'm still in the dark here, literally, although it's starting to become light in the morning, but I still have no power. So thank you for taking over, and did a great job there.
Well, thank you for showing me the way.
Yeah, people didn't know, who listening didn't know that we had a little bit of problem in the beginning. Rick, he had, yeah, you had.
Yes.
That I didn't have at all, but was really good to be present and see how you all helped each other to make this happen. So thank you so much.
Yes,
thank
everybody pitched in. It was a group job. Thank you. It's good work to do.
Worked out well.
Today is nice example, like all is one. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we work as one. Yeah, today we it was brilliant. Really, really was great to see. Thank you.
Okay, I don't have the music version of the flight system, so we're going to play the wellness system, and then the meeting will come to an end. Thank you all for joining us today, and continue on this path, and please consider about volunteering and about donating to the Keshe Foundation, that we don't get our hands tied within the structure that would like to co-opt this technology and keep it for themselves in so many ways and just allow it to drip out over decades to humanity, as Mr. Keshe wants it delivered pretty much in this period of time, this upcoming period. And that's what we're working for. So thank you all for joining us today. Have a wonderful day. Be well, be happy, and be peaceful. Thank you all.
This is what you see is what is to come. It's the first time you see the Space Center Wellness Center. These systems can reach man in the deepest part of the universe. As you can see, the transmutation and transportation of the soul and the physicality is within the system. And you will see each system on its own. It can reach all conditions of unwellness of the body of the man operated by doctors. It is part of the space program. And for the first time, we show what is to come. And these machines have been operating for past 12 months. We know how they work. And some of you who've been to LINS sat in some of these systems. Now they've been positioned as one of the first wellness centers in the world. Now you see the future of wellness, feeding, and making peaceful man out of the man. In this center, in the coming months, hundreds of these units will be installed. And more or less anyone in the world can reach. As you can see, there is room enough to add huge number, and the doctors will monitor everything remote. This is more or less the hospitals of tomorrow with no patients.